and I feel fine.
What's he unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Now you may remember a minute ago when I unboxed Anya Allborn's The Unseen from Quail Ridge Books. I talked about my new trajectory in collecting, and that is to be on top of the current latest books from my favorite authors and to jump on signed first editions when they go on book tours. So often authors will go on tours to support their books, and when they go on those tours, they stop at a bookstore and they sign a bunch of copies. So if you follow that author and you know where they're going to be, you go to the website of that bookstore and you order a signed copy. So just because you can't be at the event live, you could still get a signed copy from the event. They'll just ship it out later. That's all. You don't have the magic of meeting the author, but we can't be omnipresent. You know what I'm saying? So if you want a signed first edition, that's an easy way to do it. And recently, this book came out. This is The End of the World as We Know It, stories inspired by Stephen King's The Stand. And so it's an anthology of all these different authors. And there are more than a few authors in here I enjoy reading. Josh Malerman, Joe Lansdale, Ronald Malfi. I know I'm forgetting some. And so with all these authors, it's going to be hard to get a fully signed copy, which is probably impossible. Today, I'm going to share 2 copies with you from 2 different events, one in Michigan and one in Texas, where authors were signing their copies. And I will say it is bittersweet because while there are some great authors in here, there are a lot of great authors who missed out. This came from Michigan. This was an event Josh Malerman and Jonathan Janz attended and signed. This is a crazy convoluted box. I've never had so much difficulty, but I will figure it out and I will get this book out of here. All right. Had to go in through the back door. So, it came in a box, cardboard, and yikes. Not the best way to ship a book, my friends. This book completely filled the box, so there was no room. If there was any impact on the box, it would get directly transferred to the book. The only thing protecting the book is this grocery bag. The people were really friendly when I bought it from them, so I liked them personally, and I'm just worried to see the condition of the book, but we can hope for the best. This is cool. New from Josh Malerman. This is his nonfiction book, Watching Evil Dead, Unearthing the Radiant Artist Within. I think that is something that's great for all people. You have an artist in you, and you need to get it out. There are so BookBeat is the name of the store. Bookmark. And then I got some stickers. I'm not exactly sure what these stickers are. Very cool, though. This sticker says, read Josh Malerman. And this sticker says, read Jonathan Janz. This sticker is Bambi and a person standing there. This looks like it was drawn by Josh Malerman. I've seen his art before. So here is the book. It is a big chonker, The End of the World as We Know It. Here is a list of all the authors that are within it. And this one should be signed by 2 of the authors. There's a spine, The End of the World as We Know It. Here it is. Look at that. Josh Malerman and Jonathan Janz signed it and dated it. Boom, right there on the title page. I didn't know if they would sign at their stories. I know that's a common practice where when the author's in an anthology, they sign on the first page of their story. Jonathan Janz's story is titled Lenora. It's on page 151 for those who want to read along at home. You'll find Josh Malerman's I Love the Dead. It's an Alice Cooper song. I'm thrilled to have both signatures. I know Jonathan Janz is a very popular author. I've not read enough by him. I've not gone extensively into his catalog, but there's always the opportunity to catch up with him in this book. So Lenora and I Love the Dead, as well as Joe Lansdale stuff. Poppy Z. Bright's in here. Lots of great authors. And this is just the first volume I've gotten. And the second book I got came from an event with Joe Lansdale and Bev Vincent. They were at Murder by the Book in Houston. Joe Lansdale also had a new Hap and Leonard book that had come out. And here was my opportunity to get End of the World as We Know It, signed by Joe Lansdale and Bev Vincent, as well as the new Hap and Leonard book, The Hatchet Girls, signed by Joe Lansdale. And just like the release I shared with you from Quail Ridge Books, Murder by the Book is repurposing cardboard boxes, and I don't know why I get a kick out of it, but I do, and I think props to them for doing so. Now, I will say the packing job, there's a little wiggle room in here for the books that makes me a little nervous, but we'll see how they traveled. So I think they did a really excellent packing job. There's a lot of protection, these airbags here, the paper all around, and then of course airbags on the bottom, and the books are wrapped up in this butcher paper. Let's see. The first thing I always look at are corners. Corners look tight. Don't like the way that dust jacket looks there. It looks a little worried. Now this corner might be dinged right there. To be clear, it's this corner I'm talking about. But let's start with End of the World as We Know It. They signed it right on the title page. Bev Vincent, Joe Lansdale. That is one of the nicest Joe Lansdale signatures I've seen in a while. So yeah, the dust jacket is a little crinkled and bent and dinged, and it's got a little fold at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it, but the board looks in great shape. Doesn't look damaged or anything. The spine doesn't look crushed really. It is a trade edition, so it's not anything I'm going to sweat too much. A signed first edition, and I think when I put Mylar on the dust jacket, that'll take care of it really nicely. So I have Bev Vincent, Joe Lansdale, Jonathan Jans, and Josh Mallerman, all between two editions. It would be great if someday I can get it as complete as I would want it. And when I say as complete as I would want it, that would mean I'd leave out Richard Chismar and a few other authors and get everybody else's signature as complete as I would want it. But I'm not going to do that hard work. I would rather get everybody to sign my Midnight Under the Big Top, because I think Brian James Freeman killed it on that one. So anyway, that's that. And as a bonus, Hatchet Girls by Joe Lansdale, a Hap and Leonard novel, signed by his own self right there. I haven't read any Hap and Leonard. I do love Joe Lansdale. I read Cold in July, which has a character who appears in the Hap and Leonard series later on. So I have a taste of how those Hap and Leonard books may feel, but I haven't read them. I'm going to start from the beginning with Savage Season. I have them all. I need to read them all. Comes with a bookmark, Murder by the Book, and a list of upcoming events. And I may just look and identify authors that I'll want to get signed first editions of, because that's my jam right now. That's where I'm at. And if you follow my lives and my newsletter and all that, I will hook you up with dates and times and editions you could buy right from the bookstores. You get to support independent bookstores. You get to support authors. You get to add, I mean, it's a good feeling when they walk in the room and they see that table full of books, because they know there are a lot of fans out there that, while they might not be able to meet them, still want that signed edition inscribed to them to make it feel extra special. So I think all the way around, it's an awesome thing to support these local bookstores when they bring the authors in. And of course, if you can and you're close enough, go to those events, enjoy the reading, possible Q&A, and anything else you might hear at them, and connect with that author, because definitely that author needs your support, not just financially, but the energy. They want to return. They want to see the impact they're having, because that's a very rare opportunity. And I'm not going to edit out the way I just said opportunity. That's all I got right now. I promise you there'll be more. And I will continue to slur words even though I'm stone cold sober. Thank you for joining me this time. I hope to see you again next time. And in the meantime, stay frosty.